Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing lesson 5 from unit 1, multiplying polynomials. It's the last one of this whole unit. So it is pretty significant. We're going to be doing a lot with multiplying polynomials this year. So it's good for you to kind of get this down. Take your time. If you get stuck at any point, make sure that you go back, rewatch the video to help you with your homework. Okay, so today we will focus on multiplying polynomials where we need to apply both the distributive property and multiplying powers with a common base rule. So distributive property, remember, is where if I give you a problem like such, where you have a times b plus c, we're focusing on this little box here, then you do the distributive property and you get AB plus AC. And powers with common bases. Remember, if the bases are the same with like a to the x times a to the y, you take the exponents and you add them when you're multiplying, okay? So we're going to do a real simple one to start with. And it says simplify using the distributive property and write in standard form, highest degree to lowest, okay? So this is what we're doing. Remember these words. We're taking a monomial times a trinomial. Trinomial are 3 terms. Monomial is 1 term, okay? We're going to take those and we're going to do the distributive property, right? So we're going to do negative 2y times 6y squared. Remember, when you do this, you take the coefficients. So you take negative 2 times 6 and you multiply. And then, because they both have y's, this is y to the first, remember, you take the y's and you add their exponents. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay? Then I'm going to do that to the next term in that trinomial. I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to take negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16. And then y to the first times y to the first is y to the second. And I'm going to do it again because it's a trinomial. So I'm going to take that negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Don't forget that there's a y there. I know that the positive 2 doesn't have a y, but we can't just drop that y. So now there is, we're just going to stick it on the end. It's part of the multiplication, and you're done. Okay, so there's your solution. All right, now it says we're going to complete the same problem using what we call an area model. And remember that the area, when you multiply, or when you, I just gave it away. When you have the area of a rectangle, don't you multiply length times width, right? So remember that the area of a rectangle is multiplying. That's what we're trying to do there. It's about multiplying. So you're literally going to break this up. This area model is going to kind of be a big deal when we get to like problems that are a little bit longer on this lesson. So we're going to break it up to, notice we've got 3 blocks. You're going to take your monomial and stick it there. And then each of those terms in the trinomial is you're going to put like that. And because area with a rectangle is multiplying, you're basically going to take this column and this row to fill in this box and multiply. 6 times negative 2, negative 12, y squared times y is y to the third. And then you're going to come to the middle box right here, and you're going to take what's the column, the top of the column, which is negative 8y, and that row, and negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16. Y times y is y to the second. And you're going to do it again up here for that last box. You're going to take that positive 2 times that row is negative 4y squared. So it's just a different way to break it up, and man, is it really helpful when we get to much bigger problems. Okay. All right, so let us try 3 here. Use an area model, it says, to multiply x plus 5 times x minus 8. Okay, so now notice with this one, I have a binomial times a binomial, right? So that means there are 2 terms times 2 terms, right? So when I do my area model, remember how we did this first term we put as part of our row? what we're going to do here is we're going to make a block of a 2 by 2. So this x plus 5, you're going to, each of these blocks are going to be separated with one term and then another term. And then that x minus 8 is going to be on the top. And it's going to say x minus 8 there, right? So 2 rows, the rows are going across, right? That's the x, and then the plus 5, and then columns x minus 8. So every term gets its own little block, so to speak, on the sides, okay? And then to fill it in, so like I want to fill this block in here, I'm going to do x times x, which would be x squared. Remember, you add the exponents. Fill in the next block. Negative 8 times x is negative 8x. Okay? Fill in the block down here. You can go across, down, I don't care, whatever. When you do that one, it's this column, right, the x, times that row. Like the column, the x, and the 5 come together at that point. So x times 5 is 5x. And then the last one, it's the column, right, has negative 8 on the top and positive 5 on the side. So negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. Okay, now what I did is to fill in the area, you multiply. All right, so you multiply to fill in the area. And then combine like terms after. Now, that when you combine like terms, you do not multiply. Do not. Okay, you're done multiplying. Once that box is filled in, you're done. Now you're going to combine like terms, and if you notice these diagonals, these are like terms. See them? So we're going to do standard form. We're going to write the x squared first because that's the highest exponent. Then I'm going to take that 5x and that negative 8x, and I'm going to put them together. So 5x minus 8x is negative 3x. And then the negative 40 just goes along down right there at the bottom. Okay? So literally, we looked at every little box in the area, like in that, every little block in the area, the square, and we combined like terms and wrote it in standard form. Okay? Let's do another. Let's pick a fall color. All right, I've got a binomial times a binomial again, right? So you can do these actually any way you want. You can put this binomial on the top of the side. I typically always start it on the side, just me. So I got 2x, right, minus 8. So those terms, right, are separated, 2x in one block, negative 8 in the other. And then the 3x goes up on top, and the negative 1 goes here, okay? Then we're going to fill in, right? We're going to start with this upper left-hand corner block. And on the top, it's got a 3x. To the left, it's got a 2x. So 3x times 2x. 3 times 2. Multiply the numbers, right? 3 times 2 is 6. And then exponents add. X to the first, x to the first, is x to the second. Then I've got 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x, right, for the next block. Down here, 3x times negative 8 is negative 24x, right? And then that bottom one, negative 8 and negative 1 make a positive 8. Okay? And then we're going to combine these two right here. So I've got 6x squared. And I know, remember, you're done multiplying. You're just going to add like terms. So I got a negative 24x and a negative 2x. Make a negative 26x plus 8. And that's it. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go to the next page, and we're going to skip around just a little bit, okay? We're going to take one of these, and we're going to do one of these. So pay attention. I don't want to kill you with a bunch of problems here because I know it's a lot. But there's something besides the area model that we could use, and it's called a double distribution. So it says the example below illustrates, okay, so we've got a problem, an x plus 5 times x minus 7. This double distribution only works with two binomials, okay? You can't do it. It's called FOIL, okay? And the FOIL stands for first, the F stands for first, the O stands for outer. I think I just spelled that wrong. The I stands for the inner, and the L is last. Okay, so FOIL is just like an acronym to remind you. All right, so when we say FOIL, if I look at A here and I see 2x minus 1 and x plus 1, and I see two binomials multiplied, you can do FOIL. So FOIL starts with F first, means you take the first two and you multiply them. So 2x times x is 2x squared. O stands for the outer. So the 2x and the outer 1 be multiplied. So the outer numbers. 2x times 1 is 2x. I, inner. So then you come here and you do the inner. So the inner numbers, negative 1 and x, is negative x. And then L is your last. Negative 1 and 1 is negative 1. And then, oh, sugar roasted honey nut. I'm sorry, I forgot to put an x here. So that was the outer. 2x times 1 is 2x. I think I just forgot to put that. I know I did. All right, and then you literally just take like terms, which 2x minus x is x, and negative 1, and you just combine. And that's it. We did the front page, we did an area model. I'm not a huge fan of FOIL only because you can only use it with two binomials. Like you can't use it for any more than that. So we are good with that one. Let me say this for the squaring a binomial. So when you see these, and I'm going to let you try B. I'm going to skip A because it's got that fraction. So we're just going to go to this one for B. If you square a binomial, so see how it's a binomial, it's got a squared, you have to write it out. Okay? And you have to do that double distribution or FOIL or area model. So let me do one more of the FOIL. Okay? So first, so 3x times 3x is 9x squared. Outer, so 3x times negative 1, because they're the outside numbers, it's negative 3x. Inner, so negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. And then last, negative 1 and negative 1 make positive 1. Combine like terms. And there is a three-square binomial. Okay. Conjugates, so I'm not going to actually go through all this, but I will tell you we're going to do A. If I say to you, multiply the binomial by a conjugate, okay, and I wrote it up here. A conjugate is literally where you take the binomial. You only have conjugates with binomials. You take the middle sign and you change it. So instead of an x minus 5, the conjugate of that would be x plus 5. Okay, and they create a very special type of result with special product. So if it says multiply each binomial by its conjugate, there's the conjugate, right? The conjugate of x minus 5 is x plus 5. Let's do the area model. Remember x minus 5 and then x plus 5 here. Okay, and let's actually multiply them. Let's do it. X times x, x squared, going across. 5 times x, 5x. Going down, x times negative 5 is negative 5x. And then negative 5 and 5 make negative 25. Look what happens to the middle terms. Negative 5x and 5x cancel out. And I got nothing but x squared minus 25. And there is my solution. Okay? Now, On the back page, we do have, so this is what I'm going to leave for you guys to do, because this video is fairly long. So I am going to, most of these on your homework are, binomials. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to set this one up, right? And I'm going to ask that you try it, okay? But I'm going to leave it here for you guys. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll give you the answer. Okay, so I have a trinomial times a binomial. So I've got 3x squared plus 4x and plus 2. So that means I have to have 3 rows, right? Because there's 3. And then I only have 2 on the top of this one, so it's kind of long. But I'm only going to have 2 columns because I only have a binomial in the second part. Okay, you're going to do the same thing that you've been doing. Is you're going to do the multiplication in each of these. You just got to do it 6 times instead of 4 times. And then you got to combine like terms. So when you're done, I'm going to give you the answer, okay? When you're done, I want you to try this. This is what you're going to do. And we will get to some more practice of some at another point. If you are, we will have some more practice time for these, okay? And I realize that your homework, I'm just double checking. So I'm sorry that I'm holding you up. Yeah, your homework has a couple, but I think that's okay. I think it's actually for the homework for 6, so I think we're good. I think that's where you should leave it, right there, okay? Try that one, and then if you are in my extended class, only do the homework, don't do the starred questions, okay? My honors crew, you're going to do them all, okay? You're going to try it, and we're going to see how it goes. And I will catch up with you, don't worry, all right? Okay, take care.